come to the brightness of your rising. If your light continues to shine brighter, kings and important people in society, you are welcome to the classroom of the Visionary Business Project. In this classroom, we use the Word of God to solve practical problems of the people and that of the society. Now, I have this interesting topic for you today, and I call it the faith substance. The faith substance. The faith substance. Now, we understand if you are a Christian, you should understand that faith is a very important topic to us as Christians. Now, I want you to look at this quote on the board. What is physically representing your faith? What is physically representing your faith? I'm sure you don't understand what I mean by that, but you will surely get to understand it at the end of this teaching. Now, I have this Bible passage, and it is the faith Bible passage. It is what we call the faith Bible passage. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1. It's very common and very popular. Now, faith, I'm reading from the Bible, NKJV version. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now, I'm going to focus my attention on two key words from that particular definition of faith. Two key words. What are those key words? Substance and evidence. Substance and evidence. Now, before I go into the diagrams, let me quickly tell you how this helped us. This particular topic helped myself and my wife when we got married and we were looking for our first child. Now, we got the word of God that my wife was going to conceive and bear a child. But we began to wait upon the Lord for the first year, second year, third year, and the fourth year. Now, we believed the Lord that my wife was going to conceive and bear a child. Now, how come believing it, how come our faith work was not producing at that time? So we began to pray. Then the Spirit of God made me to do something at that time. I was inspired with an idea. I was taking a walk and the Spirit of God told me, why can't you ask people in the neighborhood to call your wife by the name of the child that she wants to give birth to? That was strange to me. It was a strange idea. And it was later on, when I began to study this topic, that I realized what the Holy Spirit was trying to make me to do. I got home, I informed my wife about the divine idea, and we did what the Holy Spirit asked us to do. It was a faith walk. Now, what we were doing was that we decided to substantiate. We decided to bring out a faith substance, to use something to represent what we believed in. And the children began to call my wife by the name of our first child. And after some months, my wife conceived and gave birth to our first child. Now, I want you to look at this diagram. In the first diagram, the first box, I have the Word of God. Now, I want you to understand that there will be no faith work without the Word of God. That is so simple. You should find it easy to understand that as a Christian. When the Word of God is not there, there is no faith work. The foundation for any faith work that will bring results is the Word of God. You have to receive the Word of God. Just like I said, we received the Word of God that my wife was going to conceive and bear a child. So, in box B, belief is the next step of your faith work. It is very important. Now, let me tell you something. Belief here is usually a spiritual activity. You heard the word of God, you saw a revelation, and you believed. It's spiritual. You believe. The Bible says, because Abraham believed, it was counted for him as righteousness. The Lord said, tell them to call your wife by the name of the first child that she wants to give birth to. I believed immediately. Then I acted upon it. So you have to train yourself to believe the word of God. I believe constant study of the word of God and relationship with the Holy Spirit will help you at this stage. So you have to believe. Then the third box has what I call substance and evidence. And this is the key, the important aspect of this teaching, which I want you to start practicing in your faith walk with God. Now, what does that mean? This is where you represent what you believe physically. You represent it physically. It is not a sin for you to represent it physically. Belief in the second step was a deeply spiritual activity. But in this stage, you go to another level of the faith walk by actually representing what you believe physically through confession, through physical action, or through what I call materialization. What do I mean by that? At that point in time, there was a time we began to buy baby things. We began to buy baby things, expecting our first child. So, getting to that stage, we decided to materialize, to carry out physical action. We decided to produce a substance, an evidence of what we believed, of what we were expecting. So, this is possible in so many ways. Just like I said, if you believe anything, if you believe an idea from the Lord, the first simple thing for you to do, to substantiate it, to give it a substance or to produce an evidence, is through your confession. I want you to look at this example. God approached Abraham and said, Abraham, you are no longer Abraham, but Abraham. Now, I want you to think of a situation when neighbors come to Abraham, they say, Father, Abraham. And Abraham will tell them, no, don't call me Abraham. I am Abraham. Then they will laugh, and because Abraham means father of many nations. Then the neighbors will laugh at him. You, at this age, how can you don't even have one single child? How can you call yourself the father of many nations? But what was Abraham doing? Abraham was materializing or physicalizing his faith, what he believed. No, don't call me Abraham. Call me Abraham. I am the father of many nations. So that is the important stage, very important stage in your faith walk, especially when you believe God for something. It is very important. Now, I want you to look at the box D. The last box has what I call miracle or manifestation. If you have diligently gone through these 3 stages, you will surely arrive at this last stage. Just like I said, after some months, after we began to materialize or to give a substance and evidence to what we believe about our first child came. Now, you remember the fact that in the book of John chapter 1, the Bible says, and the word became flesh. That is the truth. When God gives his word, the word will always become flesh. But what you do in between is what I have highlighted in these first 3 stages. So I want you to take something away from this teaching. Get violent with your faith. How do you get violent with your faith? Producing a substance you can continue to relate with. When anybody tells you, oh, what are you crazy? What are you doing? You tell them, that is what the Lord told me. And I'm producing a substance for you because I believe it is going to happen. And at the end of the day, your word will always become flesh. Thank you very much. I believe this class has blessed you. I want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can see it scrolling, the details scrolling on the screen. And also, I want you to follow me on Twitter at the Teaching Apostle. Thank you very much. Thank you.